you to go to the city of Corinth. I'm sending a few people there. There's something going on. You know, I'm not really sure what it is, but I know it centers in the city of Corinth and within the house of Dexius. There's a problem coming there that needs some attention. By the time you get there, the family should be eager for assistance.
Scratch at my cheek and look over at the ghost.
Is there anything? Go ahead.
Who? What? Do I recognize the ghost?
Yes, he always appears the same. He's wearing a uniform, military uniform from about 120 years ago. Right, I think he died in the 40s.
Back in the 40s. So I know of him. Obviously don't know him, but I know of him just because of my own military experience.
Well, no, you would have never even heard of him. He was almost like a Black Ops commander for striking deep into Druid and Celtic and Brythonic territories. Basically, it was almost like the Druids were the religious core of the rebellion. So without that religious center, the tribes weren't really that cooperative with one another. Decided to get rid of the Druids so the Britons would be more divided. He was one of the guys in charge of hunting down Druids, destroying their sites and gathering places and places they traditionally maintained for teaching. His career was, you don't celebrate your butchers in history.
Gotcha.
But no, he was not a guy getting a triumph.
Not publicly, anyway.
Hey, there's Byron. How's it going?
Hey
there.
Sorry, guys. My computer doesn't seem to want to load this crap.
Okay. So can you just, because we're getting started, so introduce your character and your profession, and we'll dive right in. We're just getting started.
No problem. My character is actually, I took the courtesan, Sabina Porcius, and she's from actually Cordoba, Hispania. And
cool.
Basically, she feels that life is too short to let coins slip through her hands. Her family was wronged by some politicians in Hispania, and so she traveled to Britannica to basically hunt them down and hopefully seek vengeance on them. But she's working for the society due to the fact that her silver tongue and her not being like a legionnaire or centurion allows her to slip into places that the more military people couldn't go.
Okay. All right. So you're working with the investigator organization, the Army of Metellus. And I was just telling everyone about 2 weeks ago, he met with each of you to direct you to the Greek city of Corinth, where there was a problem developing within the house of Dexius. He says, even though I'm linked to the spirit world and I can sense that there's something that needs attention, this is not like many of the other things I've sent you on. This is something a little bit more dangerous. There's something developing here that really needs very quick attention. And by the time you get there, it may almost be too late. I wish I could give you more information, but get to Corinth as quickly as you can and seek out the house of Dexius.
Understood.
Okay. What of our out-of-pocket expenses?
The ghost has directed you to a port where there's a ship waiting for you. There'll be a contact there with enough money to get you to Corinth and pay for your stay while you're there.
Excellent. thank you as always. A pleasure for the visitation.
Okay. And he wishes each of you good luck and, dematerializes. And you know that you probably won't see him until the next time he needs you to do something.
I give a
Hopefully-
shiver and I look around to the rest of the group. That always gets me.
Can't quite get used to that.
Yeah, even though he was one of our own, it's still not natural.
No. But apparently
Well, you got to remember the Romans they had a very big belief in spirits and ghosts and all of that sort of thing. So you'd probably be less unnerved by it than people would be today. It would still be unnerving. And I think at one point or another, you've all tried charms and soul cakes and offerings of milk to try and get rid of him. And none of it works because there's stuff on the books that you can get rid of ghosts that pester you. But none of it seems to work. So,
stuck
kind of, it's like, it was worth a try. We made an offering to Pluto. We got some soul cakes from the Vestal Virgins. Fucker keeps showing up. So,
God damn it.
he's going to keep coming around unless we do it. So, let's go to Greece.
All right. Let's prepare.
We need to bring anything special, I guess. He didn't really give us much details to go on.
He almost never
we have to
does.
get
He's kind of like the spectral dungeon master of Cthulhu Invictus.
Nice.
You're lucky I'm not good at riddles.
Jesus.
Well, I'll grab my armor, my gladius, like my normal traveling gear.
Okay,
any like travel food like jerky and things like that, just kind of get me where I'm going.
You request leave and they grant it. You request leave too often. And we're going to just shoot ahead because remember, this is supposed to be a 2-hour demo.
Yep.
And we're going to place you in the city of Corinth. It is a major Roman colony in the region, a center of trade. So it's a port city. And it is a major Roman naval base. It's a very, for a Greek city, it's a very Romanized Greek city. And a lot of trade flows through here from the Eastern Empire towards towards the Italian Peninsula and the Mediterranean. And you're not in town for 24 hours before dropping a few names with the House of Dexius quickly gets you an invitation to meet with the family.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, is there any particular protocol we need to follow, or just anything we know beforehand to help us?
Well, the invitation is to meet at right after dinner, so to be at the house at sundown, which is unusual because most people are inside and done with day's business before sundown. Because these are cities with no streetlights, but they want you to come at sundown. Which read into that what you may, but that means you do have an hour or two to kind of gather info if you wish.
This is just a thought. Could we reconnaissance the house and just stand around until sundown see what happens?
Like walk the block.
Here's the thing. When the invitation came, and now you may want to start making some notes.
All right.
It came from Gallerus, Dexius, Telesinus.
Gallerus, Telesinus.
And he's requesting that you come at sundown to the home of House Barrius.
House? What do we know about House Barrius, if anything?
Next to nothing. None of you are from Corinth. you would need to talk to a local or be in a place where you could maybe ask locals some common knowledge things. Had anyone said they were from Greece, I'd allow no rolls, but no one did. In fact, most of you mentioned you're from nowhere near here,
Yeah.
which is fine because you're an investigator. You're traveling the empire.
Yeah.
You're going to be going to places you've never been.
It's a province. How do they view Rome specifically? Like, are they amenable to Rome being there, or no?
The time I write is a time when the Roman Empire has been the Roman Empire for a really long time now.
Okay.
Unless you go to the outer edges, you're not going to get that. Oh, these Roman outsiders. I mean, this is Roman Greece. Greece has been part of Rome since the Republic. You're talking centuries of being part of the empire at this point. So no, I mean, maybe the Greeks do think more of themselves than their Roman rulers, but after several failed civil wars, they keep that shit to themselves these days.
All right, that's fair. Once we get there, then, and we get established at a place, then I will put my armor on, and I will walk that way.
Okay. Okay. So you're not really. You're going to say, "Oh, well, we'll figure out what we're going to figure out. I'm going to get my armor together, and I'll meet you guys." Does anyone else have an idea to maybe get some info on the family before you meet with them?
Well, that kind of sounds right up my alley. Being able to sneak in and get some info on the family, maybe from locals at a bathhouse or,
Easy enough. It's the late afternoon. This is when the bathhouse goes in. If you're a professional courtesan, I'm assuming you've got good persuade, fast talk, charm, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let's roll a charm to see if you can kind of ingratiate yourself with a group at the bathhouse to just ask some common rumors or who the players are, because you have a few family names.
Yep, I got a success, but not hard or extreme.
Okay, that's fine. You're a pretty girl in a bathhouse. People and you're from far off Spain, Hispania, so you're kind of exotic.
Right.
You learn that House Darius does have a link to House Dexius. The only surviving daughter of the family is actually married into House Darius. So the place this meeting is set up is where the paterfamilias's daughter now lives. Okay, you find out that the head of the house is Dexius Latinius. He is a widow. He is currently unmarried. He has 3 children. Dexius Telesinus, his eldest son. His daughter, Latina Dexilla. And his youngest son, Dexius Commius. You do find out that the person says, "Oh, it's a shame what's going on with that family," but a man that age without a wife, they tend to become a little unstable and they're easily manipulated. But I really shouldn't say anything more. I don't wish to seem a gossip.
Well, I'll order some wine and maybe we can ply some more info.
Okay, give me a persuade check.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah, they were like, I know some of the players, and it's just, I really have said too much, and, thank you, and you don't get any more information. But there's something going on there. Okay, so anyone else?
Could I find out if this is like are these house, is money involved? Are these people like aristocrats?
House Dexius, just it's an innocent question. So I'm going to say, yeah, you can find that out. Both houses are wealthy.
Okay.
neither one is like a 1% mover and shaker in Corinth. But they own land, they own business interests, they own property. So neither family is hurting at all. Although you actually make a luck roll.
21. 21 out of 35. Pass.
The guy you are speaking to does mention that quite a few pieces of property have been sold recently from the holdings of House Dexius. Like they've come up on the market and they've sold very quickly. They were kind of priced to move, so to speak.
So
That they could have been sold for more. They could have been sold for more, but the price was such a bargain that the money changed hands quickly.
So they might be in need of cash for something quick.
Do you wish to question the person you're speaking to on that to see if you can get a little more info?
Yeah, if he knows, are they in trouble financially or?
Okay, this is moving into the realm of gossip. He's a little uneasy. This is going to require a persuade check.
Persuade. I don't know if I have that, but yeah, just please. Okay, I'll give it a roll. See what happens. No, 59.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Well, after I get geared up, I'd like to head over to like the inn or the bar, thing, and just kind of like, listen, maybe just like ask somebody like flat out, like, oh, what do you know about, House Barrius? Maybe I'm looking for work kind of thing.
Okay. You get nothing. House Barrius, they're prosperous. The husband is, or the paterfamilias of House Barrius. Give me a second. He's a wealthy merchant. He travels with his shipments, usually dealing from Antioch to Corinth to Ostia, and he's currently traveling.
Okay. I was just inquire as to do they know when he may be back? Is this like his regular circuit?
It's his regular circuit, and the person you're speaking to doesn't have business dealings with him. They just know that his ship is not, is currently away.
Sure, that's fair. Okay, I will buy the guy a drink,
and he gladly accepts it. So, Vince, was there anything you wanted to do, or?
No, Denicus is just following along with Lucius.
Okay. All right. So the hour group. Gotcha.
I was gonna say I have my charcoal and my parchment out. I'm kind of like looking around the city.
It's a beautiful city. So there's a lot of interesting things to sketch here. So the hour grows short, and it is time to visit the House of Barrius, which is a lovely. A lovely villa in a nice area of Corinth, a merchant district. So it's not too far from the water, so that merchants can get to their, warehouses and ships and marketplaces. And as you're approaching, there's actually a slave with a torch at the door.
Who's our face here? I assume that I'm going to be more to the background.
Well, there's only 4 of you. You can all equally talk. It's not. It's not like we have a group of 6 to keep track of.
Sure. I didn't know if anybody wanted to kind of take that
Sabina, are you
take the lead?
You're good with people?
I am more sort of. I have to deal with contractors, as it were, and customers. So,
Okay, you see the slave looking about the fading foot traffic on the street, intently, as if waiting for someone.
all right, we
Okay.
let's step forward here and introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Hail, citizen! We're here as our appointed time and per our invitation. I am Denicus, and these are my companions.
Splendid. My mistress is expecting you. Please follow me. And the slave with the torch does not lead you into the main door, but around the side of the building and through a side door.
Is there something wrong with the main floor? You have some work done? Maybe I could help with that.
No. I've just been instructed to bring you in this way. I'm sure that they'll explain everything. They mean no disrespect.
Fair enough, citizen.
The hand that had glided down to my belt by my sword relaxes and go slack again by my side.
I put my hand out.
Safely get into the house. They bring you into a dining room. There are some couches set up and a low table. There's like two couches set up with a low table. The table has, a pitcher of wine and 4 goblets and a bowl of fruit waiting for you. And there's a slave here waiting to serve you. And they tell you, please be seated, refresh yourselves, and we will summon our domina.
Thank you.
It's nice to get a taste of civilization again.
Indeed.
So again, it's a beautiful house, very tastefully. And 3 people come in. It is a man of about 35, man of about maybe 27, 28, and a young man of not even 20, 22. They all have a very similar cast to them. So it is clear to see a family resemblance between them. The man comes over and he says, my name is Dexius Telinus. Allow me to introduce my brother, Commius, and our host is my sister, and she doesn't allow herself to be introduced. She steps forward. I am Latina Dexilia. Welcome to my home. Thank you so much for coming. Have you had some wine?
Yeah, Lucius is like into his second cup.
We have indeed partaken. No, thank you.
Excellent. And she claps her hands twice and says, "Clear the room." And slaves who are all 6 of the slaves who are in here, except her personal attendant, who kind of hovers behind her, leave.
Oh, we're going to see a show.
Lucius stiffens a little bit because slaves are so much part of the background as far as to not even be noticed that they were there. So it strikes him as a little bit unusual that everyone is dismissed. He doesn't say anything.
Right. So Telesinus says, we're told that you are steadfast, discreet, and dependable.
Correct.
My brother and sister and I require that with utmost urgency. If we go any further, we need to know. We need your assurances, your word, that everything we tell you will be kept under confidence.
Indeed, we serve the Empire, and that's recommendation enough.
And at that point, Latina Dexia points over to a statue of Concord. Do you swear before Concord that nothing we tell you will be repeated? I'm sorry to take such steps, but once we begin talking, you will understand that they are necessary.
Do we get any sense that statue has any kind of, for the lack of a better word, oddness or weirdness about it? Or is it
No,
just
it seems a normal statue of Concord that you would find in most homes. This is the home of a merchant. So Concord, a goddess of smooth dealings,
Yes.
would be revered here. But no, it's not. There's no. I mean, you can roll a Cthulhu Mythos roll on it, but it's just a statue of Concord.
Gotcha. I was making sure. Yeah, we. I can't speak for the rest of my group, but I so solemnly swear.
Yeah, Lucius walks across the room and puts his hand on the statue and looks at her and says, "I swear it."
Okay.
Oh my God.
Do you whether you believe or not, they do. So yeah, it's the Empire. It goes the whole gambit. So if you all agree, they'll begin the meeting.
Yeah, Oscar.
Yes, I too swear.
Okay. They tell you that the matter is grave and it concerns our father, who is Quintus Dexius Latinius. He's always been a good father, and when my mother was alive, he was a good husband, a well-liked man with many clients, many friends. And he collected clockworks. He liked those little trinkets, the toys, the water clocks, anything that would seem to move of its own accord. He found it amusing, and he amassed a bit of a collection and became the patron of a engineer named Nectarius. Nectarius made wonderful machines in the city, water clocks, toys, puppets that seemed to move when they were wound up or springs were, put under tension. Ingenious things, really, but nothing too serious about them. Nectarius several weeks ago presented my father with a clockwork jay, a small bird. A beautiful item. My father paid far too much for it. And my father became immediately different in the days after receiving the jay. We would hear him speaking to it. He would wind it up. It would make chirps and whistles and clicks at him, move its head, and his daughter intersects. He became a different person. He began dismissing many of his long-term clients. He began selling some of the property that we'd owned and giving the money to Nectarios. Nectarios soon became his sole client. And these were families, these were people that we'd had good business dealings with, for over a generation. And suddenly he's no longer accepting them at the morning tribute. We all know what that is, right? Do I need to explain that, or?
I don't. Sorry.
A wealthy man in ancient Rome would have clients come to his house every morning. They would pay their respects. He would give them a few coins, and they'd go about their day. If he needed a favor from them, it was understood that they would give him that favor and give him that support. This was very useful if someone got pulled into court, because you could show up with a huge crowd of people swearing to your character, and back in the days of the Republic, it was really necessary for families to wield political power when the votes mattered. The votes don't really matter anymore, but it's still a matter of prestige to have a lot of free clients come and kiss your ass for a handful of coins every morning. So he's fired all of them.
No more ass kissing.
Right. Which has made the family, and the younger son says, it's made our family a little unpopular. It's put us under, in the public eye, and not in a good way. People are talking about our family in a negative manner, which is very distressing. And the oldest son interjects, and he says, so that's why my brother and I had a meeting with my father. We asked him what was all of this about these clients. These were people we needed to do business with, and now we're not meeting with them socially. And why are we selling this bit of property? And why did we sell this boat? It was worth, and where is the money going? And that's when he confessed to me. He said, I knew this was coming. I knew that you would turn against me. The J told me. It tells me all that will happen. None of this is a surprise. I know that you're out to get me. And he summoned his guards, and he had my brother and I put out of the house. With naught but what we had on our backs.
Well, prior to that conversation, had your father exhibited any other strange behaviors? Did he still take his meals at regular times? I mean, was life about the house normal otherwise?
Everything seemed fine before he got that toy. And when he got it, everything changed. I've heard in the last couple of days that Nectarius has moved into the house with two of his cohorts.
That answers the question.
Most of the freedmen servants have also been fired. So my father is alone in the house with a few guards and perhaps a dozen slaves, and these three ne'er-do-wells. Yes, and the clockwork bird.
How does he comport himself with it? Is it just set in a certain area? Does he carry it on his person?
It's in his room.
It's in his
and
room.
he seldom, and for the last since he got it, he seldom left his room. He's even taking his meals there.
Where is this typical with would there be the typical courtyard surrounded by all the buildings? As far as where his room would be.
His room is.
Yeah, we asked them if they could, give us a sketch out, a quick map of how
they do, and they can, and I can send everybody a picture.
All right.
Let me just see if I can get that really quick. So they say that I'll supply the map when we get to that point.
Sure.
Basically, they say that for the last few days, there have been deliveries 2 and 3 times a day to the house. Tools, metals, gears, springs, stone. All of these materials are just flooding in, and it must be costing a fortune. The rate of my father selling off the family's property has increased. So we believe that this Nectarius has somehow bewitched my father.
Sounds like it.
Now we have no proof. And if we did, we would go to the authorities. But we are running out of time. We were contacted by my father's lawyer that my father demanded a meeting with our family lawyer at dinner. And our family lawyer is an old family friend and put him off and said, well, I can't come today. I will come tomorrow at high sun. And he told us that your father's requested a meeting with him. I've put him off, but I'm going to see him tomorrow. What what we fear is that he may write us out of his will, or worse. And then the sister says, he is so beloved of this new client, this toy maker. And since he has disowned my brothers, I would not be all that surprised if in his diminished sense he would adopt this man.
An unfortunate situation.
So we need this resolved before morning.
Okay. Well, doesn't leave us much time.
No.
We don't have much time. As soon as, if my father summons his lawyer and changes the will, there may be nothing we can do. We may be cut out of the house legally.
What would be the so would they? So my question to them would be, and I'm not sure exactly how to phrase it. Is there any sort of like occult person that they have attempted to contact to like counter spell? I don't want to say witch necessarily, but like some sort of.
They look at each other with confusion and say, "We were told that you are experts."
We didn't know
We
if
are.
attempted the normal routes of.
No, there's been no time. My brother and I were turned out 3 days ago, and we got the message from the lawyer this afternoon.
Indeed.
Set your mind at ease. We'll ferret out the issue.
Is there any other background information you know about Nectarius? Just that he was well known and well respected, or was he shady from the beginning?
We know very little about him.
Okay.
So
He was my father's. He's a local. He was my father's creature. He's a tinker. He's a toy maker. He's sometimes an engineer. Most people thought that he was harmless.
No, he's a Grima Wormtongue.
Possibly.
So he might be under the influence also of this.
That's possible. And something is being built.
Yeah.
They're building a larger bird.
A Trojan bird.
So
Yeah.
So she says, "Well, before we tell you what we require, are you willing to help us?"
Well, that puts us in an awkward position to say yes to any requirement before we've heard it.
That is a convincing argument. Make a persuade check.
All right. Let's go to suck balls because that's 15. 46. Nope.
I might be able to aid in that.
Okay, you can give it a try.
All right.
Odd 7.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, that's where you shine.
Yep.
All right, hold on. I'm going to send the map to everybody. Okay, they say, well, what we require.
Oh, Christ.
Glad you spoke up because I was just like, yeah, sure.
I was going to say the same thing.
No, we're going to make sure we not screw ourselves. Have all the information before we make an informed judgment, an informed decision. Remember last time? That's how I got this limp.
All right, I'm sending that map over now via email.
Alrighty.
Okay, so they'd say that first off, and this is most unfortunate, we can offer you no payment at this time. My brother and I have been turned out without a penny to our names. And the woman says, and I cannot offer you large sums of money from my husband's coffers without his agreeing and being here to ask. It would be, it would not be something, it would not be a conversation I'd wish to have with my husband. But they say that when things are set right and my father is back in his right mind, we will make sure that each of you are richly rewarded and made permanent clients of House Dexius. That would raise everyone's status by 3 points.
That sounds reasonable.
And remember, status are now awarded, not randomly earned. So they're like sanity awards at the end of an adventure.
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. What say the rest of you gentlemen?
Don't really suppose we have much of a choice, but
Well,
okay, they tell you this is what they require. Remove Nectarios and his cronies from their father's home. These
matter
people.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You finish. I know what I was going to say.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you care what manner Nectarius is removed? Like the manner of his.
They say if evidence of sorcery can be found, secure the evidence and capture him and his men, and then turn them over for prosecution.
Live or okay, never mind.
And they say if not, they still need to be removed. They are a bad influence on my father.
Say no more. We got it. Yep.
Okay.
We're good at that.
If you can find evidence and capture them, all the better, because that would clear their the weirdness that to their family's names.
We'll do the best that we can to ferret out the truth, and if not, then
if you can find records of all the money my father has spent on Nectarius, that would be valuably used against him in court. It would show why he has bewitched my father, like what has he gained from it.
Understood.
And most of all, you must separate my father from the clockwork, that clockwork J, the clockwork oracle, as he calls it. Now,
it's probably good idea none of us touch it.
If my father is bewitched, he may not be in his right mind. Please don't hurt him. Restrain him if you have to. If he is unhinged, once he's restrained and my lawyer shows up and the family lawyer shows up, maybe we can get him declared unfit to make decisions, and my brother and I can step in to manage things so that my father is not a danger to himself or anyone else. Again, try not to hurt any of the slaves who are there. We've grown up with most of them. They may only be following my father's unhinged orders. And then the youngest son says, and the dog, don't forget. Oh, yes. We have a dog, Tellus. He's a guard dog, but the guard went out of him years ago. He's just a beloved pet. If he barks at you, just tell him who's a good boy in Greek 3 times. It usually calms him right down. Please, and the kid's like, please don't hurt the dog.
Don't hurt the dog.
Okay.
Now, we have any kind of official letter of mark, as it were, a license that we are the investigators, or are we just like so under the radar that we would... If
you were picked up by the Vigilus, we will deny that we ever sent you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
I asked the younger son for a piece
They
of
said,
his
you
clothing.
understand that this would seem like we were trying to usurp control of the house from our father, which is not what we're trying to do. We're trying to save him. We believe that he has fallen under the influence of this dangerous person. But an outsider could look at this as if we are trying to do away with our father and use this as an excuse.
Does kind of look like that.
I tell them they honor their father by their actions.
Would I be able to do an insight roll to see if she's telling the truth?
Go ahead.
I don't doubt her, but the fact that she said that. No, I failed. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So at this point, they will say, "Well, let me draw you a map." And at that point, Latina, Latina Dexia, the sister. Byron, your courtesan's name was, what was her name again?
Sabina.
She
Sabina
says,
Silver.
Sabina, let's allow these men to draw their maps in peace. I'd like to talk to you about the latest fashions in Hispania. Did you say?
Yes.
And she offers you her hand as if you're a beloved friend, and says, "Come walk with me, and I'll we'll get you another glass, something more palatable."
I
That
call
sounds
after,
good.
behave yourself.
Okay.
Always.
So as soon as she gets you away from the others and behind a closed door,
Oh my God.
she says, "Now, I don't know what my oldest brother is going to say to the others, but I'm going to tell you that clockwork must be destroyed. I overheard my brother talking about it. I believe he may want it.
Well, that's just not going to happen.
If it has bewitched my father, it will bewitch my brother, no matter what he thinks. So I want that thing destroyed."
I agree wholeheartedly.
Now, it monetarily, it's worth quite a bit because it is a fine work of art. So, but I don't care. Now, I have some jewelry. It's my mother's jewelry. It's hidden in the family's bedrooms. I don't know if my father's remembered my mother's jewelry, but if he's selling off property, that may be next. These are family heirlooms that I'm hoping to pass down to my daughter one day. So if you could secure that box of jewelry, I will tell you how to open the secret door in my father's bedroom. And I will make sure that when my husband returns, that you and your friends become clients of this house as well, which would be an additional 2 points of status.
Wow.
She says, "You seem a intelligent woman. So as one intelligent woman to another, do we have an agreement?"
This is to Sabina.
This is only to Sabina.
Oh no, is he frozen?
So we have no transpire. I think he is. Sabina be frozen.
Oh, of course, at that climactic.
Yeah, it always happens like that.
All right. We'll take the silence as a yes.
Okay. All right. So
Yes.
we're all right. Yeah, we lost him. He'll be back. So meanwhile, in the group now, the three people who are left are the apothecary, the current centurion, and the engineer. What's the age on each of you?
I am 28. That's the centurion.
Denicus, the engineer, former charioteer, is 39.
And I'm in the middle, 32.
Okay, so the centurion is the youngest.
I'm the baby.
Baby Huey.
So the eldest son kind of gravitates to the map, and he's kind of sketching it out for the two of you. And he kind of like the younger son kind of nods over to the centurion, tries to get his attention and get him over to the other side of the room.
He'll grab another glass of wine and he'll head over.
As you're passing by me to go over with your wine, I grab your arm and I lean in. I nod at the younger son. Hold on a second. And like, be careful and keep your wits about you.
Of course, always.
You're in your fourth cup.
Well, thank you. Yes, I wasn't trying to point that out directly, but yes, that's
Okay. Well, let's just finish Byron's. Did you say yes?
I did.
Okay, we didn't hear you because it froze, and we were like, "What the?" Okay,
It just-
you said yes.
It died.
Have the agreement. We've moved on. Okay.
Sorry.
No, it happens. We knew you'd be right back.
curse you, internet.
So yeah, if it happens to me, it's really gonna suck.
It's an omen.
Okay,
Oh,
so the youngest one is over in the corner with you, and he says, "Now, there's another matter in the house. I didn't want to mention it about my brother. It's a little personal. I was wondering if that maybe you and I can kind of reach a side agreement that you could take care of something for me."
Okay. There's other secrets between the your siblings.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, 2 brothers.
Then you know the answer to that.
Fair enough.
He says,
I tipped the glass to him.
He says, "There's a girl in the house that I've grown very attached to."
Oh, here we go.
Slave.
Yes, she's a slave. Her name is Andara. Now, my father forbid me from having, any kind of contact with her. He felt it was time for me to start growing up. I had asked, what would it take to free her? My father became upset. But I have been putting some money away to free her. It's become a little bit more pressing because she's now with child. I know that it is mine. She's in the house. My father is liquidating property. She is young and pretty and pregnant. And if my father were to sell her, she could be worth quite a bit. So I would like your assurances that you would, even if you fail to help my father, if you could get her out of there and back to me, I would really appreciate that.
Is there any special phrase that I should perhaps say to her that would be only known to the 2 of you?
Tell her that her rock has sent for her.
Somebody misspelled a word.
He kind of gets a wry grin.
He says, "No, like he says, like you build a house upon."
Yeah, right.
It's romantic.
Right.
Like this kid is just like a little dopey. Okay.
Yeah. So I just I nod.
I'm willing to
Somebody's
give you
been reading
half.
bad epics and poetry.
He says, if you can bring her here safely, I will give you half of the money I've been saving to free her, which is 500 sesterces.
A handsome sum.
He says she is well worth it. She is everything. And, don't hurt the dog.
The dog, we got the slave woman, we got to destroy this is turning into a huge cluster hump.
So I tell him,
you haven't spoken to the eldest son yet.
There's still more to go.
I tell him
still
that
got one more shoe.
I
There's
tell
no
him,
pressure. We just have to do it by tomorrow morning with no authority.
right.
Yeah.
I tell him to the best of my ability, I will protect her and return her to him. I ask him for, a piece of his clothing, a scrap of clothing that I may also, allow the dog to sniff to go along with the, you're a good boy.
Says, that's a splendid idea. And he actually gives you his sash.
Okay. I'll take that and stuff it in my pocket or,
Underwear.
whatever device I have to hold things. I also tell him that we will need some rope before we leave. And also I would like some scraps of meat that I could also give to the dog if necessary.
and he tells you that since you've agreed to help me, I'm going to tell you something, and it's in confidence.
Oh God.
The girl and I have locks on 2 of the windows in the house, so that we might more easily sneak out to meet with one another.
Should make things somewhat easier. Which room is her room? We may be able to get easier egress through there.
Okay, the room, the window into the kitchen, which we're going to say is room 8, is the one of the 2 room 8s, the northmost room 8.
Okay.
Is broken.
Okay.
And the one leading into his bedroom, which is the southernmost room, not the southwestern, the southernmost 9.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So the window into 9 and the window into 8 from the outside, the latch has been broken in a way that no one will detect it.
Okay.
He said you might have the easiest time getting in there.
All right. North being the top of the paper, south being the bottom of the paper.
North being exactly.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
I was just going to ask him which room was his father's.
Yeah.
he was the southernmost 9. His father is the northernmost 9.
Okay.
So right next to the kitchen.
Okay.
Good place to be.
Actually, I'm going to say that the easternmost 9 with an attachment into 2 was his bedroom and his study. I mean, it's a map I got off the internet, so I'm just kind of scrolling around with it.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's a play test. I haven't commissioned a map for this. It still has all my typos. The ink's barely dry.
Northern 9
into
into
play test as you're going to see on the internet.
So northern 9 into and number 2 is the study.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough.
So your way in is southernmost 9, northernmost 8, and the 2 targets you got to really watch out for are northern 9 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Duly
there's
noted.
Basin.
Meanwhile, when you're having the map drawn by the older brother, he is talking to the engineer and the apothecary. Is that you two seem to be the the 2 men who are most going to get things done.
Well, I have my hands on my hips. I'm kind of looking around at like our group being broken apart here. So I look at him sternly. And what do you have to impart that's so precious now?
He says, I do not want Nicarius captured. I want him dead. If he is still alive, he may have power over my father that I cannot take that chance. He is a charlatan and dangerous.
You didn't really actually have to say that out loud, but understood.
If my father cannot be freed from Nicarius's influence, he leans in. He says he must not be allowed to meet with his lawyer.
Well, there's some undertones there. I'm not too crazy about, but we'll take that under advisement.
And he says, I am a very generous man.
Well,
and if I, through some tragedy, happen to fall under the, become the controlling paterfamilias of my house, you and your friends would be the first among my new clients, raising your status to +6 as opposed to +3.
As appreciative as a PN may be, we're after the truth, and not through bribery. And I look at him. If you
No, this would be a measure of your worth in my service. This is not a bribe. This is what your worth. Your friendship is worth to me.
Oh, now we're friends.
That's I'm smelling what you're cooking here, but the fact that you had to break us all up to tell us this, I don't like that.
He says, I don't know what my sister is on and on about. He says, my brother is probably going on about that stupid slave girl he's gotten knocked up.
No, that's
as if he thinks we don't know.
This is apparently a circus over here. All right, here's one thing that I require.
He says all families are circuses. That's why I'm trying to be the sensible one.
Gotcha. All right, we'll see how sensible it is once it's all over. This is one thing I require from you. Well,
yes.
Two things really, but I got the torch covered. I want a gallon of lamp oil.
I don't want you burning the house down.
I'm not going to burn the house down.
It's in a very residential area. A fire will immediately summon the vigilus. I can get you some lamp oil. And I believe your friend requested some rope. We can supply that as well.
Thank you.
And the other thing?
A glass of water. This wine is drying my mouth out.
Of course.
Thank you.
And he summons a slave in. He brings some water for my friend here. And he says, oh, and there's one other thing.
Oh, jeez.
What? I'm drinking the water and what? What?
He says that Clockwork Oracle, that J. I know that my father's paid about 5,000 sesterces in it. It has gem eyes and some gold plating. I spoke to my sister about it. She thinks it should be destroyed. I think it should be captured intact so that we can sell it, recoup some of the losses. So if you can recover it, I'm willing to give you 1/3 of what my father paid for it, which would be 2,000 sesterces.
Well, after I'm done smashing into oblivion, I'll give you what's left over of it.
And he stares at you.
It sounds like it sounds like a special. It sounds like a special artifact, and that falls under our jurisdiction. I don't care how much money you have or how many renowned fame things you're going to give us as far as like boosting our fame. I don't care.
Wow. All right. You're former military. How do you want to play this? There's a few ways you can do this. You can do this oratory that you're speaking this monologue.
Yes. That's
going to cow him. You could do this intimidate because you're probably a big guy and, kind of tough, or you can just persuade him. But the way you're wording it, it doesn't sound like persuade. It's more along the lines of either rhetoric or intimidate. So roll either one of those. And it's not a lie because you do feel that as you're a member of an investigator organization, you do have a mandate to destroy any artifact that you find to be dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So we can't go with fast talk.
No, I do have a decent charm.
That wasn't charming.
That's true.
I know charm. That's not charm.
That's not charm. Anti-charm.
No, that's intimidate. Or you can roll your status. Although it's probably not going to be as high as his.
Right.
Although
it might be by tomorrow.
He is homeless at this point with no money. I'm going to say status or intimidate.
All right, let's do intimidate. It's only 15, but what the hell? I'm a military guy. Nope. All right, there we go. Nope, 35. I'm off by 10.
He says, well, I'm sorry to hear that you say that. I'm not going to try and persuade you. Some people just can't be reasoned with. But I will honor our agreements.
Fair enough.
Perhaps we will not be as good friends as I'd hoped, but let's get through this evening, and then we'll talk in the morning. Perhaps one of us will have a change of heart.
That is possible, but whatever the outcome is, know that we will do our best to take care of your family, and I hope you keep that forefront in your mind when doing dealings with us.
He says, let me try and set your mind at ease. I think I might have come off a little strong. Paterfamilias of this family. My father is not a young man.
No doubt.
Do not wish that day to happen one day sooner than the gods will it to. But my father cannot be allowed to destroy our good name because he's been bewitched.
I understand your plight, young lad.
He says, so the shadows grow long, time grows short, and I think that you and your companion should be off. If there's anything else you need, now's the time to ask.
Just the rope. We got the water. I hold up the thing. My friend needs to sober up real quick. He may need a few slaps in the face, and then a little bit of lamp oil.
Okay, some lamp oil, some rope,
and a slap in the face.
And, well, you can handle that.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Oscar, I didn't get a chance to ask due to the internet dying there, but I'm assuming she told me where I could find that jewelry in the room.
Yes,
Okay.
it is both of Poseidon's eyes in the wall mosaic.
And that was in the father's bedroom?
It was in their bedroom. They actually had, they shared a bedroom. They were very much in love. She's almost embarrassed that her parents shared a bedroom.
Okay, so what bedroom would that be? That's a southernmost nine?
North 2.
The room
Oh,
with the
so
red
she
door.
shared a bedroom with her dad. Oh, nice.
No, it's not in her bedroom. This is her
Oh, her
mother's
parents'
bedroom.
That's what I thought. Okay. Sorry about
Right,
that.
right.
Had me confused for a minute.
She's just afraid that her dad is going to remember, oh, I've got all this jewelry from my dead wife. I should sell that too.
Got it.
Pardon me.
And she says she know it hasn't been sold yet because she's had people looking out for it in the markets and the pawn shops. Still in the house.
Okay.
And she suddenly threatens you that if I should get there and it's not there and it hasn't hit the black market, I'll know who took it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because
Wow.
no one else could have possibly taken it.
Well, no one else. Logical threat, but she's not in a very logical place.
True.
Oscar, I meant to ask you at the beginning of the game, would I be able to have a small vial of poison?
Yes, I'm going to say it's not a deadly poison. It's a moderate poison.
Okay.
Do you want this to be ingested or something you could put on a blade?
I was thinking more ingested, like you could put in there.
Yes, that's easier to do.
Just
So I'm going to
use
say it's a
the
moderate poison. We'll say that it acts quickly within 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Bad case
And
of
it's much more likely to cause unconsciousness than death, but death could occur.
Okay. Yep.
You know, depending on the weight and the dose and what you're diluting it with. You know, it's all variables.
Yeah.
You're going in, blind.
Can she tell us where that lawyer lives or his place of business if it's not in his own?
She actually doesn't know.
All right.
Can I pull Denicus aside out of earshot?
Sure.
Did I understand him right? Was he asking us to murder his father?
He's not coming right out and saying it, but that is, if it did happen, he wouldn't be unduly perturbed.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So let's keep our wits about us. Let's try to keep as many people alive as possible.
Yes.
We're not going to, we'll not jeopardize this mission or jeopardize our own health, if you know what I'm saying.
I agree.
Yes.
All right. So all right. We're in the second hour and it's going well. You're about to enter the house.
All right.
How are you making it?
Oh, before you do that, I pre-cut like 2 lengths of rope that I could use to like tie people up, as opposed to 100 feet of rope. I've got a couple of shorter segments that I could use to incapacitate people.
I'm going to say that you have half a dozen 3-foot lengths of rope.
Okay.
Cool.
Get one. Use one for.
I'm gonna get like a piece of cloth, Oscar, and like tear it into strips that could be used to like shove in somebody's mouth to keep them from screaming or hollering.
And gags.
Nice.
You can always rely on the courtesan to have a ball gag somewhere.
I asked Marius as we're walking over. I'm like, do you happen to have, or do you think you could quickly procure something where we may be able to incapacitate the father, just knock him out?
Yeah, my fist.
We don't want to beat up an old man if he can, administer a quick
Administer
potion.
the proper blow. You and I are military
he's
men, my friend.
Okay.
We'll
All
be
right.
able to administer.
So they gave you directions to the house, and you now stand before their former, their former home. The what's the name of the house again? The House of Dexius.
I burn it down. No, I'm kidding.
Give me the lamp oil.
So, Marius, was that no on a potion or no?
If
Or
he rolls a
Marcus, I'm
potion,
sorry, Marcus.
if he takes a half an hour and rolls a potion roll, he can probably make a strong sleep draught, but you'd have to force him to drink it.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Drink this.
Or maybe if I were able to use that same poison, like if I knew if I could delete it.
If you
delete
used
it.
half the dose, it
Yeah.
would still be more dangerous than a sleep draught. But if you used half of the one that you think you could probably kill someone with, it would be much more likely to render them unconscious.
Okay.
And we'll figure out the exact numbers if and
Yeah.
when we come to that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Fair enough.
But
On
yeah,
the
one
way
thing I have
to
to
the
say,
house, can I
the 7th edition rules for poison are a lot smoother than the old ones.
ask each of the
On the way to the house,
Can I ask each one of the group here, just so we don't get into an argument while we're in the house, what are we going to do with this bird if we find it?
Oh, I
Destroy
believe
it.
we must smash it. Yes.
We'll do our best to destroy it, and if we have to, burn it.
Okay.
If
I'll bring you guys into the loop on the jewelry too.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess I would let you guys know about the slave girl too as well.
it's funny because the engineer was like, "So your family is all circus, and you didn't even know half of the acts."
I know, right? You guys are imparting this information to me. I'm just shaking my head.
It's getting very complicated.
God,
Well,
gods.
you can't fault a young man for his love. I mean, she is the care of his child, so we can return her to him.
Well, that would
Yeah.
be stealing, wouldn't it? If you stole it from the father, you're stealing his property, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's get in and do this and get out. This thing is sordid and makes me ill.
Yeah, we're gonna break a host of laws. So
People make me sick. Let's just break into this
People
fucking
make
place and get
me
it over with.
like we're not committing any criminal acts here.
You're breaking like 12 laws tonight.
I'm going to pull my my toga up a little bit and cover my face as I'm walking past.
We're
All
going
right.
in.
So you're at the house. Some of you have tried to conceal your identities. That's fine.
I suggest that we break into the son's room as it's across the way from the father.
This is gonna look real good to the neighbors.
Okay, you're gonna
Well,
need to
it's dark.
make a stealth roll.
Well, if you guys can draw them out of the room, perhaps I can slip in and get the jewelry and
The son's former room.
yeah, but I mean once
Maybe we can cause a
We're in the
commotion
house.
out in front of the building.
You're in a residential area. If you cause a commotion in front of the building, you'll draw the attention of all of the neighbors
in the Vagilis.
and the police because it's the merchant district.
That's true too. All right. What time of night is it now?
It is now full night. It's probably about 10 o'clock in the evening. So
All right. So
the
most
city
people.
is asleep.
Yeah, I would say most people were asleep. So is it a large alleyway in between the buildings where the son's room is?
Yes.
All right.
You'll
Is it
still need to
shielded
make a
from the
stealth
street?
check.
All right, I'm gonna.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'll watch one of the front house towards the shops. I'll watch that corner, and I suggest someone watch the back end towards that atrium area through the garden, while the other two take care of the opening point to the room.
I can technically roll a stealth.
Okay,
Yeah.
roll it.
Here
Do
we
we
go.
all need to roll, or just the two approaching the house?
The two who are going through the window now, because two people. The way I understand it, two people are going in and two are on watch.
Okay, I'll take the
Correct.
watch in the back.
Right.
All
Right.
okay.
I rolled a 49. My status 10, so I fail.
Okay, so you get in.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, you get into the house, but you make some noise. Okay, what's the second stealth roll going through the window?
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters. Actually, they're insult to injury.
Well, if you're
Okay,
louder, it could matter.
Keep in mind, you can burn luck to augment close rolls,
Oh, that's
and
true. I forgot about that.
you can push rolls
With the
to go for
intimidate.
double jeopardy. We're
Yeah,
playing
for-
7th edition Cthulhu Invictus. Let's not forget.
You're right.
For
That's
10,
not-
it's not worth it.
You want to burn 30 points of luck to make that roll?
Go ahead and do that.
Do you want to push and try and either be really roll again and be really noisy? Or...
So 10. So I rolled a 49. I'd have to roll. Yeah. I'll spend the luck. Fuck it.
You just
By
spend
the
a
way,
luck,
you got
right?
36 minutes.
Okay, you get in. Okay. All right, next.
Now you have to burn shit too if you miss.
Yeah, exactly.
Who else is going? You burned the luck and made the stealth. You're in the house quietly. Next. Who's going in?
So we have the two in already.
No,
I
who's
stick
the second person in?
Okay.
Which is
They have to roll.
Sabina, right?
Now the first person that Lucius is the first person in. Can
Yes.
he help the second
Right.
person
Mm-hmm.
and make them like add to their?
Not be quiet.
No,
No.
okay.
If the door's open, could I close the door partly? Like if
Not no, because they're coming in right behind you, and there's no
Okay.
light on in the room. So you're okay. Sabina,
Tripping
roll
over
your stealth.
The dog starts barking.
No, 82 out of 45.
Oh, you have to burn anything
Okay,
like
do you want to burn all of your luck,
Why
or do
not?
you want to push?
that.
The house appears pretty asleep, so failing this might not be catastrophic, but shouldn't fail. You're going to summon Vigilus. I mean, that's a lot of luck to burn.
God damn you, Vigils.
The problem of an urban adventure.
I know, right?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
We're keeping watch.
If you can take it, it's and just okay. I failed the stealth. That's nothing I can do about it. I rolled an 80.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to fail it. I don't want to take the chance. Might need that
All
luck.
right. All right, so you knock over a lamp,
Typical.
and okay, nothing happens at this moment.
Oh, thank God. Thank the true
You
God.
don't see anyone, so you guys can move into the house.
Can I make a listen check?
Roll.
yes, that's a good idea.
40 out of 55. I'm good on that.
No, 88. I didn't hear shit.
Because I knocked over a lamp.
Okay, so the courtesan actually hears, and it's the
Here comes
sound
the
of
dog.
The dog.
claws, like the claws on marble.
Get the meat! Get the meat!
Where's that stash?
So the
Do you say anything?
two other people, they can get in. You roll your stealth. It doesn't matter, but you don't know that, so roll your stealth.
All right.
I failed by 40.
Okay.
Jesus.
Next.
You step on the lamp that's already on the ground.
I missed by
Step
30.
on my
This
leg.
lamp
I missed by
Okay.
30.
All right, so you guys are not the B&E group.
No.
Nobody
All right,
puts
so
points in stealth.
You're all in the
Zero
room
pops.
as the dog enters. One of you
So much
was
for
getting
Zero Dark 30.
yeah. So You're getting the last time I played Cthulhu Invictus with this guy over here, they literally snatched snatched somebody off the street with a sack over them, pushing them back into a wagon and speeding away like they were abducting someone, like abducting a terrorist.
We did abduct him.
Yeah. They basically snatched interest off the street.
In a busy town.
This is not that.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of that.
If the dog walks into the room, I will pull the sash out really quick and get low to the ground. And I'm assuming the kid told me how to say that in Greek.
Right. Okay, so the dog enters the room. And
Who's a good boy?
you realize something is very, very wrong.
Yeah, I saw that shit coming.
The dog now has a strange apparatus over its eyes and head.
Clockwork.
There's wires and gears running down its back and into both of its shoulder blades. So you see bronze and brass copper wires and like 6 glowing crystals kind of embedded all around its head.
What?
Welcome to Cthulhu Invictus. I need everybody to make a sand check.
It's Lucius of Borg.
You'll be assimilated.
Oh shit! 07
You're good.
out of 50. Yeah.
56 out of 70. I'm good.
You're good.
19 out of 50.
You're good.
Also 41 out
Okay.
of 60.
You guys are shaken, not stirred. No sand loss.
We don't shit our
But you're
pants.
you're about to hand it the scent marked and say, do you still try that as it comes in with this strange apparatus all over?
Maybe it needs the lamp oil.
I do, right? So I get down on the ground and I start to pull it out. It comes in, it's got all this shit, and I kind of like pull back a little bit, and then I extend my hand like you would to a dog, kind of like palm down, and then I turn it up with the sash in it.
Moving forward, let's roll initiative.
Oh man.
All right.
I'm gonna pull out the lamp oil.
What's the initiative? What's initiative? D10 plus.
You know, I'm just gonna say let's go by dex.
All right. 65.
Keep it simple. It's got a 75 dex.
Fuck.
Man.
I have a 60.
I have a 70.
So the dog bites and then everyone else goes.
Sounds like it.
Okay, the dog does successfully bite the hand that you were extending it. So it lunges forward, clamps down on your hand. You hear. Are you wearing any armor?
I have my armor on because I put it on before we went out. I don't have the shield or anything. The rings and steel. But I was going to say, can I make a dodge?
You can, but you do have armor, which will absorb some of this damage.
Okay.
You can't take an action next round. Do you want to trust the armor, or do you want to?
Well, there's no armor on
One
the
way or
hand,
the other.
right?
It's just what?
I said there's no armor on the hand, though, right? I mean, hands and lower.
I would assume that you move it back, and he bites into the lower part of,
Yeah.
or you're not
Okay, we'll do
leaving
that.
your hand there. Okay.
Yeah.
You
All
know-
right, we'll do that. Yep.
Okay. It will do 4 points of damage. Roll your armor absorption. What's ring mail?
Leather rings is 1d4 plus 1.
Okay.
Rolled a 4, so 5.
You take no damage. You pull your arm back. He bites. He ends up biting your side. He catches on the rings. He does no damage. And everyone else is now free to attack this thing. I mean, it is moving like super fast and really
Is it like
vicious.
a sheet or a curtain or something reachable?
Yes.
I'm going to try to throw it over it.
Okay.
I
Make a
thought you were
throw
going to say
roll.
you were going to try to hide behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Next.
26. Didn't make the throw roll.
Okay.
I pull the gladius
hmm
and just try to stab to the belly where it doesn't
Thought we
look
weren't
go.
supposed to kill the dog.
Well, I think at this point, it's not a dog anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's still a dog. It's just wearing something.
I don't know if it's...
68 out of 70 for sword.
Okay, give me damage on that. The dog will have 1 point of brass and bronze implant armor.
Oh,
right.
nice.
Need a D6. All right. That is going to be 5 points.
Okay, minus the 1, or is that 5 with the armor?
Oh, I'm sorry. 5 total, so minus 1's 4.
Okay, so you inflict 4 points on the upgraded watchdog.
Yep. So I stay low, like I'm already down, and I just pull the gladius out and I just stab forward while I'm kind of like.
Okay,
squatting.
last 2 characters. What are you doing? This does affect the dog. I mean, it's bleeding.
All right. So, but this sort of clockworkish, steampunkish stuff. It's attached to it. It's not embedded, correct?
Oh no, it's embedded. You see it
Oh,
going
it is embedded.
into the skin. It's not wearing it. You see screws screwed into the skull.
All right. So it's not a dog anymore. All right. I'm going to remove the short spear from my back strap and take a stab at it.
Go for it.
Well, I have range or throw, which is 50, but I'm not really throwing it. So, what would I use there?
What's the base of spear? Do you have it as a?
I do, and I didn't write it down. No, I didn't write it down. Shit.
Base of spear is going to be really low, probably.
Well, okay. My skill is throw. I was thinking of that.
Do
I
you want
to go whatever the low.
So, do you want to use your melee weapon? Do you have a melee weapon?
I do not, just my fist. So I can go in and just smack it upside the head with my hand.
Okay.
Try to knock off the visor or headpiece, if that's not it, or is that attached?
It's screwed in.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go for it.
And I'll try to damage it. Just unarmed attack. 22. And fighting brawl, so that's a 25. So I got a very low. It's close. So it's 22 out of 25.
Give me damage.
All right, so it's 1d3. I do not have this foresight. 1 point.
No damage because it has 1 point of armor. Okay, apothecary.
I will try to unsheath my dagger, and I'll try to stab it too.
Go for it.
33 would be a pass for 3 points damage.
Okay. You have more than half this thing. It's beaten and battered.
Poor dog.
Okay. It's going to attack it will successfully bite this time, and it's going to bite the person who did the most damage to it, which is the person it originally attacked. This will be a critical hit.
Oof.
Double damage.
All right.
Sit, Ubu, sit.
Okay.
Die, Ubu, die.
How much of this 9-point attack does your armor absorb?
I believe it or not, I rolled a 4 again, so it absorbs 5.
Okay, thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Literally, it clamps down on it clamps down harder on where it did ribs, and it starts just rending it, like, and you literally see puffs of steam coming out from its like ears and nose.
Jesus.
And it just rips right through. It snaps the rings, snaps some of the lead, and you hear ribs snap underneath this thing's bite.
Wow. What
So even through the armor, it's just savaging you.
No.
Okay, it is the next round.
All right. Well, I try to.
Run away.
No, I can't run away. It's fucking chewing on me. So
Yeah, it's like
We
it's got
can.
it's like badger. It's like badger bitten on it. It's like lockjawing on him.
All right,
but,
so
but we can run away.
I go for the throat. If there's like a an unarmored spot along the throat, I'll flip the gladius
The
around.
stomach seemed to be doing well. It was a solid hit.
Yeah. All right, here goes nothing. Ooh, 60. So 60 out of 70.
Okay, a hit. Give me some damage.
It'll be 4.
Nice.
Okay,
Total.
which will be 3.
No, 4 total because it's a
which will
it's
be
a
3
D6 plus 1. No, I
Okay,
get a +1 for the gladius. So
Okay, so it is 4.
Yep.
Okay, it goes down. You like slide it in, and you just feel it go limp. And it takes like a few steps, and the glowing crystals like flicker, flicker, flicker. And then they take like a red glow, and they're blinking, and then the thing just like falls down, and you hear this whirring sound just come to like.
and I immediately just like grab my side and like look to see how bad it is.
You hurt?
And then it's bad. It's 4 points of broken ribs and bruised.
Oh.
It's like you've been kicked by a mule.
Mm-hmm. Like it got me.
You're not bleeding because the armor took most of it.
Yeah.
But that would have been nearly a disemboweling attack.
Oh yeah, for
had
sure.
it not been for your armor.
Right.
I come to Denicus comes to your side. Are you badly hurt? Do you need to withdraw?
I think I got my ribs.
You start to hear movement in the house.
Shit. Get ready. I pull a knife like a dagger and I pass it to him, seeing as that he was fumbling around with his.
Do you want to start moving through the house? You realize that people are now awake.
We need to get to that.
To the old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll open the door and.
Yeah, we had no choice.
Yep.
Okay, so you open the door. You see the hallway. I need everybody to make a spot hidden. You see, the house is exactly like they told you. So you do see the door right across the hallway to where the father's bedroom and study would be.
Negative on that spot.
Negative.
Yeah, I missed. Miss.
Negative.
Yep.
Anyone?
Bueller.
God damn it.
Nobody?
No.
All right,
Unless
it's
we
fine.
blow
So what do you
one-
guys do?
So I
Does
try to
anybody
stay.
want to burn luck? Are you close? It's okay if you don't. I mean, it's not up to me.
20 points away.
I don't have that much luck left.
I'm
This
50
is-
away.
I stay low and I tell.
Well, pick up the dog. We'll throw it at somebody.
Oh, we're gonna pick up the dog. I tell Sabina to stay behind us, assuming that she not going to be all that well in combat, and I just crouch low and move to the right.
Okay, so are you heading towards the door towards the father's room, or? Because you didn't see anything in the hallway.
Yeah, so we come out. We're across from where the rainwater basin is. I'm assuming that there's some kind of a ledge to keep someone from just like stepping into it.
Nope.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so I'll come across the wall up to the next bedroom, like crouch low against the wall and like kind of up the hall, looking
Okay.
across towards where the father's room is.
Okay, you're at the door of the father's room. It's closed.
Check for traps.
All right. Can I make a listen?
Sure.
All right. Fuck me, 95.
Our dice
You hear
suck.
nothing. What is everybody else doing?
I'll try to listen.
Same. 98.
God damn it.
78.
No.
Fuck, these dice suck.
Is that good or
You're
no?
cursed.
It's the
Nope.
worst.
All right. You're basically not hearing anything specific, but you're hearing movement throughout the house. You're hearing people moving in the back of the house. You're hearing people moving inside the room you're at, but you don't hear anything specific. You just hear general, like the house is starting to stir.
Right.
You're quickly losing the element of surprise.
We never had it.
So I guess I just say, I'll point back down towards where the fountain is and say, keep eyes on that, and I guess open the door and go in. Sword
Okay, you're
drawn.
opening the door with sword drawn, running into the father's room. Who else is going to the father's room? Who else is staying in the hall?
I'll go in the father's room with my spear ready to throw it.
Father's room with the spear ready to throw.
I'm gonna try to go to the entryway at number 1 and make sure that nobody gets out of the house.
Gotcha.
I'll stand at the door with my dagger ready.
Okay, I need. I'm going to deal with the two people outside of the room next. The two people running into the room, you see a man about 65 in his underclothes. He's quickly getting out of bed, and he starts screaming, "I knew it! I knew it! The Oracle told me they would send assassins for me." And he starts rushing forward, flailing his fists. Like he's not even armed. He's just an old man rushing towards you. Behind him, on a stand right beside his bed, is a large clockwork bird shaped like a jay, but it's actually nearly the size of a hawk.
Oh shit!
Oof.
So it's like it's longer than it's about the length of your forearm.
Mhm.
Whoa.
It's growing.
And it's he's got the lamp lit. It's got silver wings, gemstone eyes, made of bronze and brass. Materials alone, it's worth thousands. And as the old man is rushing towards you, barehanded, you see it move.
Oh shit!
Clockwork.
It like slowly turns its head towards.
I'm gonna throw my spear at the clockwork.
Nice.
You throw your spear at the clockwork. All right, what do you do? Give me that spear throw.
Finally, 16 out of 60.
Nice.
Is that a crit?
Fuck you, clockwork. I don't know. I guess it is. It's over by how many?
You've got to be within 20%. Your bottom 1/5.
Yeah, I think so. I'll have a throw of
No, 60 would
throw of
be
60,
15. Be 15.
and
So
I
you
got
dismissed it.
I missed it by 1.
Yeah.
1 point.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Well,
that
still,
luck.
you can't.
Well, I'll use my
you can't-
luck. There you go.
Luck.
Screw that luck.
You lose 1 point. You lose 1 point. You use 1 point of luck to get the critical. Okay.
Yes.
So let me see.
Damage is only 1d6. Normal anyway for a human being.
All right, this
And
thing
then
is
guess
going
what,
to try
Bird?
and dodge. He doesn't have great dodge. But it literally, as it sees the spear coming, it spreads its wings and dives off and like sails.
I'm going to burn you,
it won't-
bird. Burn you.
Next round, if it does dodge, but it's moving of its own power. So I need everybody to make a
What the fuck?
sanity check.
I can't see it.
I failed.
Dodge. Dodge is what? Is 1/5 of Dex?
It's
One
half.
half.
He fails his dodge.
Yes.
Nice.
So it
Falls.
spreads its wings, tries to fly away, and the spear just comes slamming through the brass and the gears. Give me damage.
That's right, bird. All right, 1.
It's got 2 points of armor, so
6.
you may not down it. 6.
No.
Points. Ha
That's a lot, but it's not enough because
Shit.
it's still up. So it takes the spear, it lands,
Shoot her!
and it will act next round. What are you doing with the old man?
What, tried to dodge, so it won't get that, right?
I just sidestep him.
Hey,
So I failed. I failed sanity. I don't know if you want to do that first.
Oh, the sanity for seeing the Clockwork Oracle on its own power is 2 points if you fail, nothing if you succeed.
Okay, so I'm down to 48. So the guy comes running, the bird takes off, he throws the spear. I kind of stand there for a minute like, what the fuck? And I kind of like sidestep the guy because I don't want to hurt him.
Brain him.
And then I want to make for the thing. So I don't know if I can do all that.
Well, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make I'm going to have you make a brawl attack, and that's basically just as he's moving forward for you to like use his momentum against him, like step around him and like shove him, so he kind of stumbles. So you'll have to make, or he is going to attack you.
Okay, fair
You
enough.
just want to get around him, but you're gonna have to do that whole football thing.
Nice. 4 out of 50.
Whoa,
There we
nice.
go.
Well done.
So I do
That's
a
a
little
crit.
pirouette.
Is you kind of dodge out and then shove him into the wall. His head, his jaw like hits the wall, and he like collapses unconscious.
That's what you get.
Nice. I
I
note
mean,
that in the back of my mind.
it's a critical brawl attack,
Yeah.
There you go.
and he really has no
That
combat.
takes care of subduing him. He
Yeah.
did it himself.
It did.
Yep.
Okay,
Can
so,
I?
and you're running towards the Clockwork Oracle. The Clockwork Oracle dodged, so it cannot act this round, but it does. You know, as since
moving.
it can't act, it's moving. It's flapping. It gets
Yeah,
back up on its feet, and its beak actually grabs the spear and
What?
pulls it out.
Holy shit. Can I
And
swing
then
at it?
You hear that same sound that the dog was making. That.
Yeah.
And the eyes are glowing. There's little puffs of smoke coming out of it.
Oh, you're dead.
Now this round, and it will attack this round.
Okay.
Chi blast.
Go. All right. So, meanwhile, in the hall, shit's happening, but I will get to you guys.
All right.
Okay. What are you guys doing in the room?
I hit it with the sword, or attempt to anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to
Go.
pour oil on it.
You'd have to
27 out of 70.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna need the oil. Give me damage on that sword attack.
All right. 5 plus 1 is 6. Well, minus its
It goes
armor, so
down.
4. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. You slash it, like the gears stop. It stops puffing smoke. It stops humming, and it just like shatters, and it stops moving of its own accord.
Oh, there you
So the Clockwork Oracle is destroyed. The father is subdued. Meanwhile, in the hallway,
go.
we've got 2 rounds of combat to account for. You see, coming out of a bedroom are 4 people, 4 slaves, and they're moving slowly. And you may as well roll a sanity check now.
Oh shit.
Oh man. You're like a zombie.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, jeez. I got a 99.
See that shit all the time in the brothel.
As they come out of the room, they're moving very slowly, so they're not right on top of you right away. You see that, much like the dog, they have these bronze like helmets that have been screwed into their scalps, and there are like wires and crystals. They're the tops of the helmets. The wires that go into their chests, their shoulders. There's a line of brass plating down their spines. And they're just like walking forward. They all like, one of them has a pair of scissors. One of them has like a kitchen knife. One of them has like a chamber pot to use as a club. And as they just slowly walk forward, they're screaming, "Please don't hurt us. Please, we can't stop ourselves. Please don't kill us." But physically they keep moving forward menacingly with these weapons. So I need you guys to make a sanity check on these.
I made a sanity 53.
Okay.
I failed miserably, 99.
Okay. 3 points of sand, not enough to really mess you up. They're moving very slowly, but outpacing them is a man without any of this garbage screwed into his head. He's wearing a leather apron. He's kind of got grease stains on his hands. And he's screaming, "This is private property. You shouldn't be here." And he's rushing forward. He only sees the 2 of you. He doesn't know there are 2 other people in the room.
Mhm.
So as he's rushing forward, what do you guys want to do?
What does the entryway look like? Is there something hanging, a chair, a bench, anything in the entryway?
There's stools here for people to sit while they're waiting to meet. Waiting to be shown in. So Yeah, you can find
All
a
right.
small piece of furniture to throw.
Well, I was going to try to use the stool like a lion tamer, try to keep the automatons at bay while my compatriot hopefully takes the other guy out.
That is very smart and not a bad tactic. So you're going to move to confront the automatons, the slaves that
Yeah.
are begging not to be hurt. So you are, and that leaves Jeff to confront the man with the apron.
Get him, Jeff.
I'm gonna try to fast talk him and say, "We're just here for the money. Just go back in your room. We'll be gone in 5 minutes."
Beat his ass.
Roll your fast talk.
38. Fast talk is a 45. It passes.
Okay. Even if he believed you were just here robbing the house, he's going to kill you.
Okay. It was worth a shot.
He lunges at you and misses with an 81, like misses terribly.
Oh,
And as he comes forward to with an open hand attack, you see that he's got wires and brass plates screwed into his hand. There's a huge crystal emerged from the fist, and it's just crackling, and it smells like
ozone.
you get the smell of ozone, like after a lightning strike.
Yeah.
And he swipes at you, and the crystal is just like white glow, almost like an odd torchlight or a lantern. And you hear the buzz. It makes the hair on your arms stand on end. Okay, next round. You are defending yourself with this club make a brawl attack.
All right.
And I'm getting that you're not trying to hurt anyone. You're just trying to
No, I'm
push
just trying to keep
everyone
him at bay.
back. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, 38 out of
successfully
25.
Okay, somebody's going to sneak through and try and attack you, and they will.
I'll burn that luck. I'll burn that luck I saved.
Okay, you burned your luck to make that. So you negate that attack by successfully making your brawl.
Yep.
Okay. So whatever you needed to make that attack,
13 points.
Points of luck, and you don't get stabbed. It seems like a good trade-off to me.
I bet that guy wouldn't like the rainwater basin very much with him being electrical.
Oh, good point.
Just saying.
And we did establish that there's no railing.
There's no railing.
Yes.
Cannon.
And it's a straight shot with these guys out of the way.
He's basically standing right in front of it.
Yes, he is.
So what do you want to do?
I will try to
Scooby-Doo.
push him, I guess. Push him, kick him to push him into the water.
You make a brawl attack you will need to make a hard brawl attack. So it will need to be half of your brawl to get him in. You're going to hit him either way if you hit him.
Okay.
If you hit him with half, you'll knock him into the water.
Do it.
Oh my God. 97.
Oh.
He throws you in the water.
97. Oh, that's a critical failure on this brawl attack. Trying to attack someone with an electric hand to push them into the water. You tackle them. You tackle him, and both of you go into the water.
Oh! It's a shocking experience, I bet.
Okay.
Nice.
So this is going to do some damage. All right. In just physical damage, it only does 1 point. But hold on. This counts as a. All right. I need you to make an extreme con check.
Oh!
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Con is 50, so I need a.
You need to get under 10.
Nope, 44.
You take 8 points of electrical damage.
Oh!
Man.
And so does he.
On top of that,
good.
9 then, right?
Right.
That leaves me with 1 hit point.
Okay, he's not doing much better. And he just, at his round, he just tries to get out of the water. Okay. So that was the second round of combat.
Yeah.
At this point, the people in the room are coming out and can join the fray. I need you to make a brawl attack just to keep these people at bay. But now it's going to need to be a hard success because they're starting to surround you.
Nope. 78. No way.
Okay. So two people are going to be able to try and attack you. One will hit. One will miss. You are attacked for 2 points of damage.
Right.
Chamber pot as a club.
I've been hit with one of those before.
Right. And the guy just scrambles out of the pond, and he starts running for the back of the building. Not a pond, the little rain catch. Okay, so guy's coming out of the room. What are you doing? You see a guy with smoke rising from his clothes, getting out of the rain catch, running for the back. You're gonna need to make sand check because you see 4 slaves done up like the dog was.
Oh, Christ.
Fail again. 89 out of 48.
26 out of 50.
You fail, you take 2. Yeah. If you're okay,
This is
you're
old
okay.
hat to me.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys want to do as you come out into this fray? You see,
right,
Can I chase it? I mean, could I get him in a round?
I don't think you're going to fly you're not going to run as fast as that spear your friend is about to throw. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
All right. I'm going to throw.
Was that what you were planning?
Yes, I will throw the spear at the slave that is not the girl.
No, the guy with the magic hand is running away.
Oh, he's okay. All right, let me take a shot at that magic hand guy running away.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a 60. Let's see. Come on, magic dice. God damn it, 72, but I'm going to use luck just to get in there.
Okay. Okay. You burn what luck you need to and roll me damage.
4 points.
He pitches forward and goes down.
Nice.
That's what you get.
Now that
Nice.
since there are 4 of you here, the apothecary may be almost dead. You can probably quickly tie these slaves up because they're not really able to defend themselves well. They're kind of unwillingly doing what they're doing, and you have, So
They seem to be
if you make a
fighting it?
successful brawl attack, you can tackle one and tie them up.
All right.
Can I can use the stool to pin him against the wall.
Right.
07.
All right, you've knocked one down and you can tie them up.
Okay.
All right, so at this round there are 3 active. One of them will miss. 2 of them will miss. 1 will hit. I'm going to say, I'll be a total asshole. It's going to try and attack the person who's getting out of the well, the water who's smoking.
Oh!
What?
So unless you either dodge or burn luck, you are going to be hit.
I'll try to dodge, I guess.
And he doesn't have it fly into the water, hopefully.
25. Nope, 66.
Oh!
Okay.
Yes.
We'll put your name
You
on
were
a
hit-
plaque.
You are hit with a pair of scissors for 2 points.
That's enough. That puts me up.
At -1, you're not
just
dead though.
You're not dead.
Oh, okay.
So you're knocked unconscious by this attack. All right, if you guys can make 3 brawl checks, you'll be able to subdue the rest of these upgraded slaves.
44 out of 50.
Nice. Finally
Okay,
getting
I got done.
24 out of 25.
That's 2 out of.
Wow.
That's 3.
Should I try first aid for Jeff, or should I try to deal with one of these?
Do
Probably
for,
better.
Go do first aid, yeah, because we can handle the last slave.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna be. I'm better at first aid. I got a 30, so.
Oh, that's great.
But at 99, I might have killed him the rest of the way.
Just push him in the water.
You want to push that? If you do a push and re-roll it,
Absolutely.
I will. If you fail this push, you will kill him.
Oh,
14.
Nice.
Not
You're alive
half.
and up with 2.
Thank you, Sabina.
Don't you die on me!
Don't leave me.
We gotta put them back. We gotta put them
The
back.
only family I have left.
No. Okay, so you subdue the slaves. They thank you, but they can't really say much. They So what do you guys want to do? You did see where that guy with the electric hand was running, and he's running towards the back of the house.
Can I get him there?
I'll ask them real quick if they know where Nicario is.
He says he's in the workshop in the back.
I run to the back.
I'm going to retrieve my spear.
You retrieve your spear from the back of the dead cultist.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to the rear room. I can't believe I didn't get to fight with my fucking Clockwork Oracle.
Thank God for that.
Well, you start off with a critical hit. I mean,
That's right. That's how
So-
we
statted this thing up and everything.
That's
The next
how we
group
do
won't
it
be
in this
so lucky.
investigation team.
Right.
Okay, you see 2 men, and they are frantically working on something. It's they're both in aprons and grease stained. And what they're working on is there is a 12-foot long man. And inside is a frame of pipes and tubes and wires. Covering it are plates of finely sculpted marble.
Iron Man.
One of the legs is not done below the knee. It only has one arm, and the face is only half completed. So half of this, like the left side of its face, has these marble plates, and the other is just like gears and brass plating and clockworks. And they're like tightening screws frantically, and they're trying to finish this thing before you guys can get there.
Too late.
So what do you guys want to do?
I'm throwing if we have some kind of element of surprise here. I don't know. I'm gonna throw my spear at the closest dude.
Okay, you can throw your spear at the closest dude. What is everybody else doing this round?
I think as I'm running, I pull the shield down, and I think I just fucking bash him with the shield. Like if I can make that distance in the
You're
round.
rushing in and to shield bash one of these 2 guys. You're throwing a spear at the other of the 2 guys. What are the other 2 guys doing?
Shoot her.
I'm gonna see if I can grab a curtain or something like that and throw it over top of Nicario
Okay, you get a
Tie him
curtain
up.
ready.
somehow.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm still pretty stunned, so I'm kind of bringing.
Okay,
up
you're
the rear.
hanging back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get the spear attack.
All right. That's it.
Thing is, you don't know which one of these 2 fuckers is Nicario.
No, I don't even care.
I thought the guy with the hand was the Nicario.
They both have it.
So did I
Yeah,
first.
I'm
Yeah.
just the closest one I can get. All right. The target is a 60. 84. I'll burn some more luck. I have a little bit left. I think I'll use I use less than 30. So.
Okay, roll it.
13.
13 points of damage?
Oh no! Sorry. I'm rolling the wrong thing.
It's one hell of a
That's a damn
spear.
good-
Only 1 point. 1 point.
1
One
point.
point.
Okay.
Woo!
All right, let's
Nixon.
get your shield. Let's get your shield bash attack.
All right. If one in particular is working, like if one is like helping and one is working, I'm going for the one
thing
that's
is,
actually
you
working.
were rushing the guy he wasn't spear at.
Okay, yeah, no, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
Otherwise,
Yep.
you're blocking his shot. So it
Yeah,
was-
I think I'm gonna miss. My shield is 60. I rolled a 61. I will spend a point to hit him.
Okay, roll.
It's a D4. Is there any sort of bonus since I'm like bull rushing him or no?
Your strength bonus.
All
If
right.
you have a strength bonus, you can add it.
This is the best I ever. He rolled another 4.
Nice.
So 8 points.
Just 4. I don't have a damage bonus because of the size. So
Okay, so just 4 points.
yep, I'll take it.
Okay, you knock both of these guys down, and they're lying there, and the guy who's got like the spear in his calf, he appears to be the leader. The guy that you've bull rushed and like knocked down, he looks over at Nicarios, and Nicarios says, "It's enough." And he takes his hand with the white glowing crystal
Oh shit!
and hits it on his forehead, and the other guy does the same thing. So
What?
as they do that, they both like start convulsing as the whatever power this strange device in their hands had courses through their bodies, and they literally smell burning flesh, like cooking meat.
Oof.
And they convulse and they die. I need everybody to roll a sand check.
You know I can't pass these.
Got it.
Yeah, you're good.
I see this shit all the time.
What kind of brothels do you work in?
It's a niche business.
Got it.
All right, if you made it, no loss. If you failed it, 3 points.
Jesus.
Did they just like transfer their energy into this?
So I don't know if it makes a difference, Oscar, but I'm down 7 now over the course of since we've been in the house.
Is that 20% in a game hour?
Well, I started at 50, so I don't know.
20% would be 5.
Yeah.
So yes,
Oh, yeah.
you are now definitely insane.
Okay.
But it's gonna get worse, so we'll deal with that after.
50, that'd be 10%.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
As you're kind of coming to grips with, oh my god, these two fucking guys just killed themselves with these weird devices. You start hearing that,
Oh shit!
and you see the marble plating over the one good arm curls into a fist, and this 12 foot, 80% finished, gigantic man, and it kind of lunges up and kind of gets into a sitting position, and then starts swinging its one leg around to like sit up. And as you see that it's the marble plates that they're affixing it, it's almost like a 12-foot statue of Apollo.
Nice.
And it's all clockworks and gears and joints and wires and glowing crystals underneath. So I need everybody to roll a sanity check.
I don't even know what to
10.
roll. All these dice are terrible.
You really want to make this one? That's all I'm
10.
gonna say. 10. You're okay.
I know that guy.
23. I made one.
Thank God.
I
This is
missed
not
this
the
one
one
by
to fail.
16.
Oh boy. Okay.
I failed this
How
by
much
16.
did you miss it by? Okay.
16.
Do you want to roll? Do you want to burn luck or no?
I might as well. Yeah, that'll put me down to like 4 luck.
Jeff.
I passed actually by 7
make it?
points. Yeah.
Okay. Everyone takes 5 points.
Whoa!
Of
The
what?
failing this is 1d100.
Oh,
Whoa!
Done the
that's like
41.
Elder Sign.
Jesus.
Or old one, I mean.
Yes. You are. I would like to introduce you to the machine god of Corinth,
Nice.
All right.
who will become known in aeons to come as the TikTok man, avatar of Nyarlathotep.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus.
It is not a complete creature by any means. So what do you guys want to do? You see that it's got gaps in the marbles, and you can see open gears and wires and crystals. So what do you guys want to do?
Am I capable at this point? I think I'm probably just screaming and kicking the one body that's in front of me.
I'm going to say that you've lost. You're insane already, and this 5 more points on top of whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Did anyone lose 20% of their sand?
Nope.
No. No, I lost
Okay,
4.
except. All right. So yeah, you run screaming out of here, and the other 3 are going to have to figure it out. But you go screaming into out of the house.
Mommy.
I'm going to say you're actually hiding. When they find you, you're trying to desperately put back the Clockwork Oracle together, thinking that it could save you.
There you go. Nice.
That's like you trying to put together a Swiss watch that's been put through a food processor. So it's not going to happen. But you're crazy, and at that moment, it makes sense. All right, what do the sane people wish to do this round?
I'm going to throw the jug of oil on it and smash it on it.
Okay.
I'm assuming it has like. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm assuming it has like gears on its hips.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm gonna try to see if there's a. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
56 out of 60.
Okay, you smash the inner workings with it with oil.
All right. Somebody set it on fire.
I'm gonna try to stick like a screwdriver or a piece of working equipment or something they had into the gears of the hip, so it can't move.
Make a brawl attack.
Jam the gears.
Good idea.
Hopefully. Hell no. 98.
Okay.
You get
All
sucked
right.
up into it.
Did I hear somebody say there's a chamber pot laying around?
Throw up into it.
Can I try to fill it with water?
You'd have to run out of the room to go back to the rain catch. But yeah, you could do that.
Or we could run from this room. It only has one leg.
Yeah, I'm practically on death's door, so I'm gonna.
Okay, so you run out.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
back
right.
away.
So the 2 people in the room,
Nice.
one of you will be attacked.
Excellent.
I'll step in front of the guy.
It comes swinging out with its arm and its immense strength.
Take one for the team.
Oh my god, I rolled total shit and misses.
Yes.
But I rolled an 80, and it literally like shatters the furniture behind the person it misses. And then it kind of like stumbles forward and then falls to one knee because it's only got one leg and one arm.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on a second. That is the second round. All right, it is the third round. What do you guys want to do?
Let's get the fuck.
And at this point,
fuck out of here.
sparks are flying off this thing. Smoke's flying out of this thing. You're starting to smell that ozone. That whining noise is now going really fast, then stopping, and then going. And then like you see it, the whole thing jar forward, and the whining starts going up again.
We're
so
gonna beat a hasty retreat from this room.
You're gonna run out. Okay, both of you. You agree?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Retreat, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, you retreat out of the room.
Let's see if we can find our compatriot.
You do, and he's filling a jug of water.
Right. Put that down. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
It is trying to, as you guys are retreating, it will get one free attack at you as you are fleeing.
Son of a bitch.
And it will hit one of you.
I'll dodge. I'm
gonna roll 1d4.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna tell you which one is going to be attacked because you're running.
Yeah.
Right.
You basically just hear something crashing towards you.
And then someone's going to move faster than they thought.
Okay. All right, I know who it will attack.
Why am I flying?
Byron, do you dodge or do you run?
I'm gonna try to dodge it.
Roll.
She's courageous. 19.
You successfully dodge, and you were the one that was going to get crushed.
Yes!
Literally, you jump forward as its marble hand comes and like shatters the mosaic tiles where you were standing a moment ago. And Vince, you just come running out of the room fine, and it like falls, and literally the oil you dumped on the sparks coming off of this thing light it on fire.
Nice.
And it just sits there burning, and you hear the marble cracking, the crystals shattering. And unless you fight the fire, it's going to get quickly out of control.
Where's that water at?
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Well,
try to say we could put the water on it and try to put this out so we can at least save the
You
house.
control the fire, and you do save the house.
Cool.
Woo!
Let's try.
Okay, so now
We need to try to calm down, find Lucius, and slap him around a little bit and get him some help.
Okay, he kind of comes out of it. It's a temporary insanity. The threat has been abated. He'll have some long recovery ahead, but for now he's okay.
We got some money to take a rest.
Well, the last thing you need to really deal with, and then I can tie it all up in exposition, is the dozen slaves with these implants.
Is there any way to remove anything without killing them?
Somebody making a medicine roll could try and surgically remove these things.
Who might that be?
I have a decent medicine.
All right, cool.
Okay. You will need to do. Hold on a second. Oh, and once the machine god dies, they're no longer compelled. They are now free-willed. So they're trying to help and cooperating.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and totally fucking freaking out. They're like, get this
Calm
stuff
down.
off of us.
We're do it. We'll do what you can. What we can.
They basically say they were drugged and they woke up like this and they had no free will.
We'll do what we can to help. Try to relax.
All right, let me.
Sabina, you had first aid. Do you have medicine too?
Nope. Unfortunately not.
Would it behoove us to bring these to a regular doctor?
That
Like an
probably
actual
break our
physician?
confidence.
Might go insane.
It would break the confidence of the family involving outsiders.
All right,
That'd be
that's
all bad.
Yep.
Okay, so
Try the first one, not on the pregnant girl. If you're gonna practice on one of the other ones. I don't say this out loud in front of
find the pregnant girl.
Test it on a red shirt.
Wonder if her baby's got
Yeah.
like clockwork arms and shit.
All right, you're going to need to make a dozen medicine rolls
Oh,
and tell me which ones are hard successes, which are half.
none of
What's
them.
your medicine?
Medicine is 60, so
Ooh, that's good.
Okay, you need to roll 12 times, and we're only going to count the ones over 30 and under 30. And have we determined that the last one will be the slave girl?
Now put her in the middle.
Well, you got to tell me specifically when you do her. The other 11 don't matter as much. So
At
are we
all.
going to say that she's number 12?
No pressure.
yeah, why not? Last one.
Okay, so let's give me 12 rolls, and 12 is the magic number. Number 1
23,
lives,
59,
dies,
18,
lives.
Good thing slaves are cheap.
04,
They're actually in this period. They're not. So that was
18
the last one was
04.
Yep.
okay.
I think
So that was slave number 5. So we have 4 alive, 1 dead. 6
85,
dead. 7
07,
alive. Number 8
28,
alive. Number 9
37,
dead. 10
69,
11
50.
dead. And the big one.
Can I assist with first aid?
No. This is like removing Borg implants.
I think I got it. 21.
Oh, yes.
She lives. So that's
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 12 slaves were successfully saved by removing these implants.
Yeah,
Nice.
well done,
Good
sir.
work.
Well done.
Good job.
Thanks.
Okay, so
Didn't
the
see it,
next
but-
morning, the when the father comes to, since you've smashed up the Clockwork Oracle, he immediately comes to his senses. Says that he was that when it sang, it bewitched him. He was not in his right mind. Thank you so much for saving him. Send for his sons. He owes them an apology. You're made clients of the house, so everybody gets +3 to their status.
I make sure I give that jewelry to the daughter.
Okay, and she makes sure that you're also clients of her husband's family, of her her husband's house. So that's an additional +3. You do turn over the slave girl to the son,
Mhm.
the youngest son, who immediately flees with her,
Okay.
and he contacts you several months later. That he's reestablished himself. Where do I say he was going? Hold on. Actually, believe it or not, in Hispania. I wrote it out.
Hey!
So he actually becomes a wealthy merchant in Hispania, married to a freed woman, because he freed her, away from his father's influence. So you all now have a contact in Hispania willing to put you up if you're ever visiting the province.
Nice.
So it's a long-term tie.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are sanity awards, and some of you need them badly. For defeating the upgraded Tellus was the dog, you get 2 points. For every saved slave, you get 1 point. For every slave who died, you lose 1 point. So since you've saved 7 out of 12, you get 2 points.
Okay.
Is that all?
But for saving the pregnant slave girl, she's worth 3. For destroying the Clockwork Oracle, you get 2 points. And for destroying the machine god of Corinth, you get 6.
Okay.
Nice.
7 points.
Wow.
Can I go above my original sanity?
No. I mean, I don't know what the
Right.
official rule is, but my house rule is always your max is your max.
All right.
And dude, you're lucky you got that all back because you lost it.
I'm back up to full.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I only lost 5, so because I see that shit all the time.
The fucked up brothel.
All right, so I mean, it's kind of it's a quick 2-hour little thing. It took us about that because we started a little bit late as a group.
Yeah.
I hope you guys had a good time.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's fun.
Awesome.
I love that moment when you see the first thing and you're like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I've done my job as an author.
Right, yeah.
No one saw this shit coming. And you're like,
Damn dogs.
somebody said, what is this? Borg, I am Borg of Corinth.
So would the dog have hurt us if we weren't so loud?
Oh yeah, it was a cyborg dog. It would have attacked you. I mean, if you go in like ninjas and make a lot of stealth checks, you could conceivably destroy the Clockwork Oracle before you wake anybody up. But that's very unlikely.
Yeah.
Was there any way to save the dog? I mean, was it a medicine check to try to save the dog too, or there was no way to
You
really
would have
get
had
around
to
that?
do it. You would have had to like grapple it, tie it up. The dog is almost impossible to save. The people are not as combat effective as the dog because I guess people are, in my book, people would just be harder to control than a dog.
Sure.
Yeah.
They seemed like they were fighting it anyway.
They were trying to fight it. They really didn't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Really, they were just fodder.
Right.
All right.
I
Well,
guess
cool.
Jeff and I have to introduce ourselves too.
Yeah, you jumped right in, Oscar. We didn't get any character introductions or anything other than Byron.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's
You
a
didn't
good
give me a
point.
heads
That-
up. You're like,
It's been a long day. I was itching to get in to get it. Like when
I was on the other computer, and you were like, "All right, so we're gonna get going." I was like, "Oh fuck, wait a minute."
When you write something and you haven't run it, you're like dying to run it because you're like, I wonder if this works. I wonder if it's going to be stupid or if they're going to get it.
Yeah. No, it's
but
all right.
No, you guys were like into everything that like the Kooky family. You were into it, so I was really happy. I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, so let's do our post-play intros.
All right, so Jeff, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, my character was Marcus Hosidius Sidonis. I played an apothecary, so I was good at potion making, medicine rolls. I kind of consider myself a doctor, although I'm not really officially trained for that.
7 people I know would disagree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the first official death of 7th edition Cthulhu Invictus. And quickly brought back from the brink.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vince.
I am Vince, and I'm playing the great Denicus Sardonicus Melonius. I am an ex-military charioteer who walks with a permanent limp due to an injury taken in the service of the Republic. And I am now a builder and engineer who takes his investigative service very seriously and tries to seek out truth above all else.
All
and
right.
The first critical hit of 7th edition Cthulhu Invictus.
Yes.
There you go. All right, and this is John. I'm playing Lucius Marius. He's a centurion. Since it's a relatively stable time in the Empire, he supplements his income by training a wealthy merchant who supports him to a certain extent, supplements him. His family's got a plot of land, so he's waiting for the time that he could make it back to his home. His most cherished possession was his father's gladius, which was given to him when he made the rank of centurion, and shortly after his father passed. So he's a bit of a hedonist because life is short and cheap, and he tries to enjoy himself as much as he can.
Which reflected in his alcohol abuse.
Yeah.
And
Is it really abuse now?
And you have the distinct honor of being the first insanity of 7th Cthulhu Invictus.
But he's quite resistant. He got it all back.
I know. Well, you saved a lot of slaves.
All that alcohol.
Yeah. It dulls the senses.
It does.
That's right.
We definitely have to play another one of these. This is cool.
Yeah. Well, obviously, just to let you guys know about my character, Sabina Porcius from Hispania. Her family was basically brought into ruin by a politician that fled and moved with his extra cash he looted out of my family's coffers to Britannia. And so she chased him down, and because of her knowledge of, the higher end of society, used her ability to be a courtesan to hopefully track him down, but got tied up in the society. Feels that life is too short to drink cheap wine.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And yep. So I like to, as Oscar can protest, I like to play the hard characters. I don't like, the military type guys. I like to do the harder ones. So
yeah, you played the pre-gen of the slave with the club foot.
The club foot slave that called out the general.
I have a pre-gen that's a slave, and he's got a total shit dex that he's got a club foot. But he's really got a lot of great skills, and you're the first person to really figure that out. That wow, he's got a lot going against him, but he's got a hell of a lot going for him.
Yeah, I called out the leader of the resistance. Went out in front of the crowd and was like, "You're a punk bitch! Get out of here!"
Oh my god! And in this game, I mean, what official honor can we give you? I mean, it was. Yeah. The first charm roll, the first successful charm, first successful subdual. It
was also
first
your
successful
idea.
Stealth.
Also, your idea to put it in the water too, so that was brilliant.
and which almost killed you because of your 98. But that was brilliant. That would have. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. And then when you rolled a 98, I'm like, oh, we can even make this worse.
Right.
But this was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. This is the first of 5 2-hour demos we're writing this year. This is the only one that's finished. But I'm halfway, maybe a third of the way done with the next one. I'm writing 3 of them, and 2 other authors are writing 1 each. But so we'll be running it at cons, all between now and 2018. We're running a lot of Cthulhu Invictus at cons this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Badass.
Cool.
All right.
That's
Well,
awesome.
if you guys are up for it, keep these characters. We've got other demos. I'd love to do this again. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Totally. Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Honored to be invited. I'm
Yeah, me
also the president of Rogue Cthulhu, so we do a lot of stuff at Origins
Cool.
and so on. So we're running like 97 events.
Wow.
We're actually,
That's
Chaosium actually reached out to us to ask them how they should bring their show to Origins this year. But hopefully, we'll see how that goes. That's the best I can say at this point.
Right.
So,
Well,
but they're letting us run a con exclusive called the Dreaming Ward. So
cool.
Cool.
So to anyone out there who's watching, who is thinking of backing, I hope this helped you make up your mind.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that in 2 weeks from today, Golden Goblin Press is launching another Kickstarter for a long scenario called Cold Warning, which is written by Golden Age great Scott David Anielowski. It's a gem that we've uncovered while I was cleaning my den over this winter break. So I'm like, hey, in this pile of binders, I found an unpublished Scott David Anielowski scenario that he wrote 25 years ago.
Nice.
nice.
So yeah, and he said, please, yes, you can publish it, but please let me rewrite it. I was young and needed the money back then. And then he added like 4,000 words to it. So he made it even longer and better. And we're converting it to 7th edition. We've got the art, mostly sorted out. Kickstarter page is ready to go. I finished the video this morning. So
Cool.
that's
Good deal.
way more traditional than this, but that's it centers on a hunting lodge in rural Maine in the 20s.
Cool. I like the
Cool.
artwork you posted for that.
In winter. Oh, one of the best covers I think we've ever managed to. Yeah, amazing work. He gets better every cover, and this is really it's almost like he's skipped a couple of levels. Like he put this out and put it out in like no time. I was like, we need this in like 2 weeks, and he's like, I got this. And
Nice.
amazing, amazing work and fast. Usually you don't get those two together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, guys, it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
Thanks for running.
I'm running another game online in 9 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a 6 a.m. Cthulhu Invictus
man.
game that I'm running.
Nice.
Yeah, time zones and kids and lives are a bitch. So
Yeah.
when we can get together,
Amen.
it's like the crack ass on every other Sunday. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
but they're in like session 4, so shit's about to hit the fan. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, guys,
Awesome.
this has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will talk to you soon.
Cool. Thanks,
Thank
Oscar.
Thank you, guys.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yep. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, you
Yep.
too.
Thanks
Have a good
everybody
night,
for
everybody.
coming.
Yeah, thanks for inviting.
Peace out.
You got it.
See ya. Thanks everybody for checking it out. We'll catch you next time.
Word.
All right. Thanks, John, for